Welcome back to Cigar Time, your ever so friendly show all about premium cigars.
I thought Rob did the intro now.
Yeah, he did last week. We got complaints, letters,
No,
telegrams. Somebody even sent, a Pony Express guy to drop off a text and said, that other guy doesn't do
The
it.
Pony Express to drop off a text.
Yeah, well, it's a modern iteration now. Welcome back.
Actually, for people who didn't see the show last week, it is on.
I didn't see it.
It is on YouTube.
Right.
And we did something unique that I think we want to do again.
We do want to. I love
we
that.
actually,
That was a great show.
We always review cigars, but we were evaluating it on whether or not we wanted to bring. It was a cigar we don't have, so we went through the process of evaluating.
There's a cigar we don't have.
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
that's a rarity.
That's a rarity.
So we evaluated it on the show. So we kind of took you through the process of how we go evaluating stuff. And
should I not be lighting this yet?
No.
Oh,
How much better?
I just want to make sure.
Yes.
Yeah, I like that. That's a pretty cool thing.
Wait a minute. You have the Noir?
No, it looks like it, but it's not.
More importantly,
Wow.
our viewers loved it. Cards, letters, telegrams, Pony Express deliveries, text,
Pony Express
emails, all manner of
What's
deliveries.
not to like? It was cool.
Yeah. What are we smoking today, Scott?
This is the Curivari. Not to be confused with the. I'm sorry. It's not. It's made by Curivari. It's called the Buenaventura. Nicaraguan
Good
Puro.
luck, by the way.
Thank you.
Just so you know.
Oh,
In a town.
Buenaventura. Is that Italian or is that Spanish? I mean Latin, I guess.
Yeah.
All right.
Either way, it means
It could be,
good luck.
that's right.
Anyway, yeah, it's actually a very popular cigar, and it comes in 10-count boxes.
And it's
So-
very popularly priced. Also,
Would we say? Would you? I forgot.
this
already.
this cigar.
609?
This is a 5.5 by 56 size.
Very generous cigar.
And it's only $6. I think it's only $6.09.
And it's less than $50 for a box.
Right.
And we sell a mountain of these.
Yes, we do.
So,
This, I'll make an initial comment. This is definitely not one of those over-under cigars.
No.
no, it's generous.
It is box press, so the 56 ring gauge doesn't feel that way. It feels much smaller.
What do you
But
mean
it's
over-under?
also over-under are the cigars that are overpriced and underfilled,
Okay.
of which there are way too many in the world.
Yes.
But this is definitely not one of them.
No.
This is really nicely packed with tobacco.
Mhm.
Although the draw is perfect.
Yeah, perfect. There's a
Not smoke.
backstory on this cigar.
Okay.
I don't know it.
Well, it's very interesting. When we bought the Westchester stores many years ago, they had these in their humidor. They had these.
We never heard of it.
We never heard of it.
Yeah.
And which is rare. But it was the smallest of the small boutique-ish type cigars. The fellow who owned the company was named Andreas. It took me about 6 weeks to track him down and get him to finally return a call. He such a small producer that initially he didn't want to sell us the cigars. He just didn't have enough. And he finally came around because I told him this store has been selling it for years. We'd like to continue it, and we'd like to broaden it out to our other stores. At the time, I don't know how many stores we had.
7 if it was we got it from store 7.
Yeah, that is store 7. That's right. So,
Funny how you did the math there.
we were able
Pretty good,
to
huh?
procure it. And now that we've added 12 more stores to 19, and our Florida store opened up a number of weeks ago, our second Florida store, and we've been selling it ever since. And it is a hot product. I mean, this cigar, like Paul said, is very nicely packed, very easy draw, tasty cigar, and the best part about it is I don't know how they do it, but it's inexpensive. I mean, relatively compared to everything else nowadays, inexpensive.
I assume it's long fill. I never cut it open and
It
never
is.
looked
It
it up.
is.
But hey, I wonder how
Well, it
they must be.
doesn't feel like newspapers inside.
No.
They must be vertically integrated. There's no way somebody can make this for them.
I know.
No,
I mean,
I
they put a lot
don't
of money
think
into the
anybody
packaging.
makes for
Yeah.
them, and that's why
It's like a
their
hidden secret.
batches are small and
Yeah.
infrequent.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing, but the companies, this is the Buenaventura, the company's name is Curivari, but I don't know if you remember, Art, when we were at a trade show, and they had probably
Oh, I know.
two tables.
Yes.
Yeah.
This with
Remember?
the-
Yeah.
they've got hundreds and hundreds of blends, but
I
they're
know.
like, this is the best out of them, and
Yeah.
we did decide to bring another one in, and that was
Right.
that we have. That's the
Noir.
Cafe Noir,
Right.
Yeah.
which is uses you said a Habano wrapper.
Habano Nicaragua. It's a
Habano
Nicaragua.
Nicaragua.
Both cigars are
But it's also got
Nicaraguan.
Criollo and Corojo in the fillet, in
And,
the Noir, which makes for an interesting blend.
And I guess did they ferment that to be Maduro? Because it is
It's
darker.
dark,
It
but
is
it's
dark.
not Maduro.
Real Maduro, yeah.
Really?
This has a very pleasant finish. Tasty, very sweet, nice, nutty. Wow.
Oh, yeah, it's very nutty. I get that.
Yeah, get that very strong.
Really, really mild white pepperish kind of
Yeah,
spice.
yeah, yeah.
It's there,
Yeah.
but not
Not
intrusive at all.
No,
I'm
not
getting the
overbearing.
I'm not
pepper
getting
on
any
the
spice whatsoever.
on the very tip of my tongue. I'm getting
Yeah,
a spice.
all the way in the front.
Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely.
What nutty is definitely the dominant flavor.
Yeah.
Now you can see why it sells so well.
Yeah. And the price.
We have trouble keeping them in stock because we order these practically every week, and
They don't ship them every week.
no, not always. No.
Yeah, I bet you there are individual stores that go through 10 boxes of these a month.
Oh, I'm sure.
I know
easy.
there are 10 count, but
I
still,
know that
that's
they
a
sell
lot.
a lot of them in our original Sarasota store.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Heath, George, and Kim love it, and they push it.
Mm-hmm.
Not a hard one to push.
No.
Price is right, and the taste is good.
Yeah.
Now, if you're looking for something to knock you out and take your socks off and put you to bed, this isn't it. I would call this a very high, mild to medium cigar.
Solid medium, I
It's
would
medium.
A solid medium.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, to me, I think it's coach below that.
I think it's because of the taste.
Boy, it has a nice
I don't think it has
finish.
anything to do with the strength.
Mm.
The taste is very light. But it's
Whoever
not
said-
a light cigar.
Very
Whoever
pleasant.
said nutty nailed it. And it's,
Yeah, it's absolutely nutty.
That was me.
Is that all right?
I just thought I'd beat Rob to it.
Actually, I think it was Paul, but
he
that's
was
okay.
going-
No,
Actually,
I
I know it's
agreed
a-
with Art.
Oh.
Art is the one that said no.
Hey,
All right.
I'm the old fart here.
We want to take it.
I guess this would be one of the examples of one of those boutique cigars, and it's probably because of the price, but
Yeah.
it's ever since we brought it in, it's sold.
Yeah.
But amazingly, as boutiques go, and clearly the boutique of boutiques,
Yeah.
as they go, this is a giveaway.
Usually boutiques are more expensive, not
Yeah,
less expensive.
I think, well, I think it's changing a little bit because the more and more companies that I talk with, I'm realizing more and more are starting to make stuff on their own, so that they're not paying somebody.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of them still do, but they're not paying somebody like the Buffalo 10 that we reviewed last week. I mean, there's
Another good one.
There's
Yeah.
another
Great example.
boutique of the boutiques. They're
With a
vertically
rational-
integrated. Yeah,
Yeah.
They make their own stuff.
But most don't.
Most
No,
don't, most
most.
don't, but I think they're starting to come around. I think a lot more of them are. So we might be seeing cigars of this quality from smaller companies.
That would be nice.
I don't know about the rest of you, but have you been retrohaling the cigar?
No, I haven't done that yet.
I did.
I'm getting, when you say nuts, that's a general term, nuts. I mean, there's all different kinds of nuts.
Yeah.
But when I retrohale this, I'm getting very distinct peanut taste. Roasted peanut taste it through the retro.
To me, it's between peanuts and cashews.
Stop.
Not
No,
buttered.
very
not
distinct
buttered
peanut
cashews.
taste. No?
It's very easy.
Okay.
Maybe.
The retrohale is very easy.
Yeah.
You know what? Not on the initial, like after you exhale, and the finish is. I'm getting that a little bit more on the
The
finish
finish, yeah.
than I am directly from the smoke. So yeah, good call on that. Unsalted though. Unsalted. Not boiled.
The Skippy of cigars.
Mm-hmm.
I used to date a girl named Skippy.
Are you getting,
Long time
in the
ago.
peanuts, are you getting large nuts or small nuts?
No, peanuts, just regular peanuts.
What do
Roasted
they make
peanuts.
them large and small?
There's jumbo and there's regular.
Yeah, exactly. Let's be specific.
No, Robert isn't. Robert. Rob is an expert on nuts.
That's right.
With peanuts, I mean. Because it's baseball.
Where-
By the way, did you watch that game?
Right into the toilet.
I listened to that.
I actually watched it for some reason. And it was like
Every
home run derby.
Every time somebody came up, they hit a home run.
Oh my, it was crazy.
It was.
Pretty impressive ash build on this cigar.
Yeah,
Yeah.
even burn. under $6 by the box, right?
Yeah.
About $5
Yeah.
by the box.
Oh, yeah.
Unbelievable.
What'd you say? It was 49 something?
And we actually make a
That
little,
can't be
we,
right.
we make a little profit on it too?
A little bit.
That
Not bad.
can't be right. That's $4.95 a cigar if you buy it by the box.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's the
That's
whole
probably
price.
why we sell them.
It's probably, yeah, that's why we
Yeah,
sell time.
exactly.
I mean, how many $5 cigars can you get that taste this good and are made this well?
Being Warner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's a special.
That's a
Yeah.
special thing.
Water's been around a lot longer than this, amazingly enough.
I'm feeling that's an old price.
It is.
So get it while you can.
You know,
Yeah, hurry up,
if
this
you
box.
like the sweet finish on this,
Yeah, it's great sweet.
they
Yeah.
actually make a version of this cigar called the Buenaventura Praline, and it's even sweeter.
Oh, praline, sure.
And it's got, it takes that nutty note and converts it so it tastes like pralines.
Is that one made in New Orleans?
I'm not sure.
That's where pralines come
And they call the size the beignet? No.
from. Yeah. Good try.
What are they talking about?
I don't know.
New Orleans stuff.
No, I've only been there once.
What'd you say that,
Yeah,
you said this is a 56?
I didn't cause the flood.
You caused it. You asked me why those tombstones were above ground, and I explained to you,
I know why they were above.
yeah, why
I
I
knew that
did,
before.
I explained that to you. And then 10 days later,
Yeah,
Bodies were underground there, right?
bodies right now.
yeah, just the tombstones. Although nobody knows for sure.
Now, what were you saying? 56 what?
Probably very important too.
Is it a 60 ring cage or you said?
No, it's 56.
The
Five-
size
five and
is
a half by
called a
56.
560.
Right.
I just
But
assumed that
it's-
meant 5 by 6.
No, it's
So did I, but
5.6
it's-
by
it's not.
56.
Oh,
Interesting. So
Interesting.
what else is happening?
that's it.
Okay, well, we'll,
Life's too short to
Ciao
smoke
for
cheap
now,
cigars.
oh my.
We could, well, I guess it's too soon to put a rating on it.
That's too
Oh,
soon.
yeah, it's a little too soon.
Did we completely go through our initial thoughts? I mean, we.
No, we didn't actually. We
All right.
sort of hinted around.
Yeah,
You know, we talked about Rob's nuts.
not my nuts.
You were
They're not
talking
mine.
about peanuts.
They're not mine.
It is all nutty.
All right, Scott, you started out.
Nutty?
You set him up for that. He knew he was going to
I'm
say
not
it.
getting any of the spices you guys talked about. I mean, there's a
I-
little.
Very mild.
It's settled off
Very
almost,
mild.
almost
Yeah.
immediately.
I didn't get any at all. I must have got a bad one.
No, there's no bad one.
So, do you find this to be your prototypical Nicaraguan? Because I'm getting a bit of like cocoa, but not a ton. It's
I don't get that at all.
just a scotch.
I have to search for a scotch.
I could smoke this cigar all the
There are
time.
no-
It's delicious.
Nova Scotia.
Nova Scotia, I
It's
get
very
it.
Nova Scotia.
easy,
Lox?
smokable,
No.
pleasant.
So yeah, I'm getting a little bit of the cocoa. I didn't get any of the pepper that you guys got, and definitely nutty and earthy as well.
Yeah, earthy.
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 What do you mean by earthy?
Earthy. It's
Doesn't taste like dirt.
Dirt taste. Dirt or grassy.
Earth, not dirt.
I mean, how
Earth.
often
It's
do you,
natural.
It's rich.
yeah, how
It's-
often do you refresh your
fertile.
palate with eating dirt so you know what dirt tastes like?
You don't want to know.
It doesn't
Oh,
taste
God.
dirty.
You know-
It tastes earthy.
When
I did
you know
yes.
what
I was doing mulch yesterday,
When I-
so
When I go out to dinner,
Well,
I
that's
know what I
probably
have
still
to
in
eat.
your nose.
Oh, I don't think I'm gonna touch
No.
that. All right, so we got
I,
Scott's.
I don't get any of the earth. I just
I
get
don't
the
get it.
nutty taste, and I do get the white pepper. From
Very
it.
pleasant.
It's really
Yeah, it's
mild.
very, and it,
Pepper,
but it's
very
very
pleasant.
clean. It's clean.
Yeah.
Also.
Yeah, so it's clean.
clean
So how
smell.
can it be dirty? How can
Right,
it be
that's why I
dirty?
said I don't get that.
Dirty.
Yeah, I don't get it. So who the only one who gets it is Scott?
So far.
Black figures.
So far.
Well, he's got a dirty mind,
Oh,
so he's got a dirty palate. What are you gonna do?
What do you think, Paul?
Well, I'm gonna quote Art, and I'm gonna say this is a cigar I could smoke all the time, all day long. It's easy, but it's flavorful.
Yeah.
It's not any kind of challenge. There's no challenge to this.
Yeah.
It's just a pleasant experience. it is so nutty.
When I think of a cigar, this is the taste I think of.
Yeah.
When I want to smoke a cigar.
So
Do you know
are
what
you
I'm
saying this is what a cigar should
Should
taste
taste
like?
like.
Prototypical Nicaraguan
Well,
cigar.
I'll
You got
take
a
it.
shirt for saying that.
I'll take it one step further. In years gone by, although not recently, you heard me refer to a comparison of the old Cuban Hoyo de Monterey, double Coronas, the size I used to smoke, had a milkshake, sweet finish, you know, just pleasant to smoke, really a yummy cigar. And brother, this reminds me of that.
What flavor
This
milkshake?
Really, black and white. That was like black and white.
Me too.
I wasn't sure it meant peach or
What
Yum-
kind?
strawberry.
Strawberry.
Yummy is a technical phrase, isn't it?
Yummy, yes.
Okay.
With two M's.
2X.
It is that.
I have a friend of mine whose wife is named Yumi, with one M. She's from Japan. But this is just I don't think I've smoked one of these before. This is, I remember.
Really?
This taste I remember. I would remember this.
You should try the noir then.
Yeah.
Noir is really
The
good.
Noir's got,
Yes.
I think, it's a
Little
little
more
heavier,
power.
a little more spice,
Yeah.
and as I recall, a little bit of almost black licorice or anise flavor to it.
It's also a little more money.
I can see why.
Yeah, but it's
A
still.
little more, I'm
It's
just
like
saying. I'm just saying.
$8
It's
instead of
$8.
Right.
Which is
As
still not
opposed to
bad.
$6. Yeah.
I can see why we fight like cats and dogs to keep these in stock.
Yes.
Holy moly.
We don't seem to, doesn't seem like we've been running out lately.
No, we've been ordering it all. the
Yeah,
time.
we try to stay on top of it,
Yeah.
and thank touch Formica, you know, Andreas has been taking good care of us, and
Yeah.
we get the product.
We seem to get everything we order.
You know, up until 2010, Andreas was a retailer in Europe, a cigar
Right,
retailer.
yes, I remember that, yeah.
And he decided to move to Nicaragua and start this little operation, and he doesn't try to make it bigger.
No, he doesn't.
He
I'm-
just wants to make what he wants to
I'm
make.
telling you, I had to chase him around
Yeah.
and fight with him and plead with him and beg him practically. I mean, I could see why. Of course, that was many years, probably right after he came over, a year or two after he came over. But it's just
And I don't think the prices have gone up hardly at all.
Not much.
not much at all, which is amazing in this day and age.
Yeah.
He just sounds like a guy who enjoys to make cigars.
And he does it when he feels like it.
Right.
So are you familiar with his operation in Nicaragua at all?
It's very small.
Oh, yeah, I took that. Where is,
It's in Esteli.
okay, I figured that. Yeah, that's another one. I've heard the manufacturers call it Esteli.
I was just thinking that.
I've heard Nicaraguans call it Esteli. So I'm gonna take for granted it should be Esteli.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
You should know.
Well, that's what I've always called it.
And when you say that down there, do they look at you like you have three heads?
Well, they look at me that way anyway.
Okay, four heads then.
Gringo Paul.
Between your heads and his nuts, I mean, you know.
Well, listen, when I had the factory, they always looked at me like I had three heads, because I used to say in my bad Spanish, it was like a discipline for me to always say.
Right.
And after I started doing that, the first time I went down there, they had all of my faxes on a wall across the front of the rolling gallery, and they called it the humor wall.
The humor.
Because the rollers would go up and read my faxes, and the Spanish was so bad, they felt like I was like an illiterate nut. So they would extract humor from it. The
Now,
humor
did you find yourself, you know, you're trying to communicate in Spanish to them, and when you actually got to the factory, they all were speaking English back to you?
No.
Nah, I know, Nicaragua's a tough one for that. Actually, probably the country in that part of the world that has the highest amount of English-speaking Spanish citizens.
Costa Rica, probably.
That's what I would think.
Costa Rica?
I would think so.
Probably.
Okay, I'm talking a little bit bigger. Cuba.
DR.
Cuba.
Cuba.
Yeah.
Well, Cuba, despite everything else, has one of the best education
Oh, yeah, for
systems
sure.
around, and
Yeah,
people learn
for sure.
to speak
Miami.
multiple languages early.
The reason we're not talking as much today is because we're really
Enjoying
enjoying
the
it.
cigar.
puffing away, yeah.
Oh, good.
Paul, do you have any anecdotes about Nicaragua?
Well, I can tell you about the most interesting restaurant in Nicaragua.
Was that where you got arrested and they put you in jail for a week?
No, that was in Costa Rica.
Oh, that was
At
But
least they spoke English.
there's a restaurant about halfway between Managua and Esteli. And it's from the highway, the Pan American Highway. It just looks like some huts in the woods. But if you pull in, the huts are all open and they are the dining rooms. There's another hut that's the kitchen. And then there's a gigantic hole in the ground with barbed wire all around it. And in the hole are all different kinds of animals. And you pick your animal and they cook it. So I went there, I actually brought my father there.
What if you're in the mood for fish?
They don't have fish there. That's another story for another day. Fishing in Nicaragua is an interesting thing.
Yeah, we might
But
need that story today.
Hmm?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah.
So anyway, first they promote that you try one or another of the animals. So first they wanted me to try a monkey. And I looked at the monkey and I said, I'm sorry, it just looks too much like me, I can't eat it. Then they showed me an ocelot, which is a
big cat.
bigger than a house cat,
Yeah.
but smaller than a lion or a tiger.
Right.
But it was just so beautiful, I didn't want them to
Yeah, they
kill
are
it.
beautiful
Even-
animals.
Then they tried me to eat, get me to eat snake, and I've eaten snake enough times that was not going to be interesting.
Big deal. Yeah.
So we finally settled on
A chicken.
armadillo and iguana, and they made a stew out of both of them combined, and it was delicious.
Does it taste
Really?
like chicken?
No, it tasted like armadillo and iguana.
We should talk about our sponsor, PETA. This show has been brought to you by.
Well, listen, eating
people
them
eating of
is
tasty
not
animals.
an unethical treatment. If you eat them, it's ethical.
Yeah.
If you kill them for
Sport.
sport,
just to
that's
kill 'em. No,
maybe
killing them for
ethical too,
sport.
but
Yeah. Killing them for sports.
No, it's legal.
Bears kill them for. I mean, they kill for food. Lions. What is that?
do you know,
Probably.
I just recently read this,
I didn't know that.
something close to 20% of the adult men in America believe they could win in a one-on-one fight with a grizzly bear.
What?
With a grizzly bear.
With a grizzly
You're out
bear.
of your mind.
They're
way.
crazy,
What are
but
they armed with? A bazooka?
no, they say they could fight it out.
Not a shot in hell.
Almost, but there's no way anybody could do it, but
Oh.
20% of
How many
guys
people-
assume that they're tough enough that they could square off.
Have
That's
you
just
ever
ridiculous.
seen up close and personal a grizzly bear?
But they're
God,
like
no.
13 feet tall.
Yeah, and weigh about 500, 600
And
pounds.
one front paw is this
Forget
big,
about
they
it.
take your head off with a swipe.
Yeah.
Who are these 20%?
There must have been 5 people, and one guy's like, I could take on a bear.
Were they in
No,
a state
the peop-
hospital? or
No,
something?
They should be.
The people that took that poll were standing outside a bar,
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably.
and at
Wasn't
2
even
a.m.
drinking,
as they
yeah.
were staggering out, saying, "Hey, how about you fighting a grizzly bear?"
Yeah, I could do that. Yeah,
I think they
that's
probably say grizzly beer.
A grizzly bear.
I could take on a.
no,
I can
that's the Saturday show. We don't talk about beer on Wednesdays.
That doesn't make
Oh,
any
God,
sense.
help me, Lord.
That's just
Well,
crazy.
I mean, I could take on a trout.
40% of Americans believe in ghosts.
I believe in
40%.
this.
You
All
do?
right, with all this
I
recent,
don't not believe in
with
them.
all this recent
I don't.
things about UFOs, what percentage of Americans believe in UFOs?
I do.
Well, I assumed you would.
There's just too
What
much out there.
odds?
Anybody who doesn't know what size
Odds
his nuts
are-
are, I mean, how would you?
What? What you said?
I
I didn't hear what he said.
You gotta think, statistically speaking, there's gotta
There's
be.
gotta be
it
something
just
out
has
there.
to be.
Has to be.
Why we think it's more intelligent than us, who knows? But
Right. I don't. Yeah. Who knows? But there's just too much out there.
So you're saying there's a law of physics, part 2.
no,
No. That's
that
all.
would be biology, wouldn't it?
No, physics. Because they have allegedly photography of spirit, whatever you want to shape you want to call it, flying around that defies gravity. That's doing speeds and doing turns and cuts and this and that
That defy physics.
that
You're
defy
right.
physics. That's what I say. Law of physics, part 2.
I used to publish a magazine about UFOs with my brother, and we called it CRAP, which stood for the Committee to Research Aerial Phenomena.
Crap.
And
Did you come up with that name first, or crap, and then just figured out?
Let's get ahead.
no, we
Let's
came
make
up
it
with
fit.
the initials, you know, the committee first.
Okay.
Yeah, how many people were on this committee?
Two.
You and your brother.
And how,
and my brother.
and how old were you when you came up with this committee?
I was 12 and my brother was 50.
I'm
Marvin
guessing
Shanky
12.
Jr. over there.
Yeah.
But we did manage to get distribution in all of the public libraries in my part of Suffolk County.
Nice. And how many were they?
About 6.
You got it.
Yeah,
He was
And we
related
had
to the
and we had
library.
an advertiser.
You had
Believe
an
it or not,
advertiser?
we had an advertiser in the magazine, the Archway Cookie Company,
oh, good cookie.
which at that time was run by my father, which is why we got them as an
Yeah.
advertiser.
Yeah,
You got
that was
you
in there
go.
somewhere.
And he got paid in cookies.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna take the cookies and Rob's nuts.
That too.
You
Wendy
knew
too.
we were gonna have fun with that. Okay.
Wendy probably agrees.
Oh my God.
She doesn't know what size they are either.
You know, we'll get put off the air if I continue with that
Yeah.
line.
Do we want a graphic to run with that?
No.
Just saying.
Yeah, you
Who
should.
was that?
Make
Two-
make sure
Two
you put
peanuts
some
in the
graphics
shell
up
and
with
it
Rob.
says Rob's nuts.
Yeah.
Well, there's planters nuts. I mean, there's lots of nuts.
Yeah, all you need is a cane and a top
Cane
hat,
and
Rob.
a-
Yeah, there you
monocle.
go. And base yourself in Atlantic City.
A monocle.
I think we should probably, as we're getting to the end of the show, which has been certainly entertaining and enlightening.
For us, at least.
Paul, why don't you lead off? Give your final review and stick a number on it.
Well, I continue to enjoy this cigar very much, although I must say the flavor doesn't really change hardly at all.
Oh, I don't want
Right,
it to
no.
change.
Other,
It's
other, than
great.
other than that little bit of pepper easing away, it stayed remarkably consistent flavor-wise, and that's okay because it tastes that good.
Right.
Go for it.
9.4.
Good. Scott?
It got creamy for me.
Did it?
Creamy as in smooth and,
Yeah.
and not
Good
like.
mouth coverage.
Yes, yeah, it coats the whole palate.
Mhm.
I agree that the flavor is pretty consistent. 7.5. I mean, I'm
What?
9. A 9. Yeah.
Geez, tough grader.
I am a tough grader.
Rob?
It is. It's not very complex, but it is very tasty. I continue to get the same flavors that I was getting before. The white pepper and the nuts. I get the pepper. Still, the tip of my tongue is tingling on it.
I'm getting a little bit now on the retro ale.
Yeah, the retro is fantastic. I give it a 9.25.
I love this cigar. And then add in the cost, I love it even more.
Let's
Well,
not
based
have
on that, you
argument
should, this should get a
this time.
10.5.
I give it a 9.6. I
Wow.
love this cigar. So don't forget, watch our Saturday night show at 8 o'clock. And I guess we'll see you next week.
Smoke often, smoke happy.
Ciao
and
for now,
buy
everybody.
Thank you very much.
To
Thanks for
your
watching.
short
Yeah, thanks for
to
watching.
smoke
Bye-bye for now.
cheap cigars.